Sarah, of course, you have been to Gaza many times. What do you make of the Hamas militants carrying on with their rocket attacks, which is obviously leading to a very harsh reaction from the Israelis and resulting in civilian deaths in Gaza?
It's really a game changer and very significant that for the first time Hamas or from Gaza attacks have come because Israel is used to and has for 6 decades again and again hit the Palestinians with impunity when they were totally and entirely defenseless and bombed again and again. Even during the time that I was there in Gaza, it's almost a daily occurrence, Israeli attacks. And then there's big offensives, such as we saw 4 years ago. And Israel is used to carrying out these attacks and the threat now of a ground invasion. For the first time, really, the Palestinians were able to fire missiles with a range to Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, or to fire on a U.S.-supplied Israeli plane. Of course, none of this could take place without the support, the meetings, a briefing beforehand with Washington, without U.S. diplomatic, military, economic support.
We saw a ground invasion 4 years ago by the Israelis. What did that achieve?
That's right. What it achieved is more than 1,400 Palestinian deaths, massive destruction of schools, of agriculture, of small industries. It was really of use of white phosphorus, of all sorts of prohibited weapons were used. So this is a severe threat and an important time for people of the whole world to respond to Israeli terror, which has become so ordinary that it becomes acceptable, and it should never, never be acceptable. What Israel has done to the Palestinian people from the very beginning, from the theft of the land and the resources to what is going on today against a democratically elected government in Gaza, which is the government of Hamas. Every Israeli threat is itself a violation and a war crime and should be denounced and opposed in the strongest way.
Now,
at the same time, I do think it's important to recognize, as the world does recognize, that the Palestinian people have a right to defend themselves. They have a right to defend themselves with rockets, with digging tunnels, with doing all that they can, because they really are the oppressed and landless and displaced people.
And Sarah,
on the other hand, Israel really is a superpower in terms of weapons.
I want to ask you, you say the Palestinians want to defend themselves, and they are indeed defending themselves with rockets apparently being smuggled in from Iran. Now, that actually is a serious development, isn't it? Doesn't that actually mean that Tehran could be caught up in all of this, and perhaps we're talking about maybe a regional war as a result of all of this?
I think that the Israeli offensive, the Israeli attack, really does threaten wider war. But Israel is used to, as a bully, attacking defenseless people. And when, as in Lebanon, or now we see as in Gaza, there's any ability to strike back at all, then it's a whole new day. And that's what we're seeing today. The idea of threatening the Palestinian people with defending themselves, or claiming that missiles come from Iran. Missiles can come from anywhere in the world today and be manufactured also within Gaza. There's certainly the technology, the ability to do this. And what has changed it is that the missiles are falling in Israel. They're not just falling in Gaza City. They're not just falling on completely defenseless people. And that's what the Israelis are used to doing, and they're used to doing it with full support from the U.S.
Live from New York, Sarah Flounders, thank you very much indeed. From the head of the International Action Centre, thank you for your thoughts.